Hey everybody, Lou Agave here with Alex, the owner of Vivo and the owner of the brand Siempre. We're at Vivanco, NAM 1414 in Hernandez
Great place to be.
on Mexican Independence Weekend. Oh man, this is going to be great. We have a treat for you you're not going to believe. In that clear bottle, which won't be clear for long when you see it in November, is going to be sort of like the opposite version of the world class. And you know how much I loved Vivo Blanco that came out. I went nuts. I was probably the first one to go nuts on this, right? This is different. I like this when it came out a year or two ago. And for that reason, we got a surprise for you coming up soon, but you're going to have to stick around for that one, right?
Yeah.
So this one, of course, you remember that the yeast was still alive in the fermentation tanks when they moved it over to the distillation tank, okay? And that's unique. That's a procedure that wasn't done for a couple hundred years at this point. And it's high proof, and this is high proof, and it's wild yeast from the environment, right? No filtration, right up my alley. I went nuts. It was bold and funky, a little bit of that mezcal kind of thing.
Lou keeps a backup bottle for the backup bottle for the backup bottle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But now Alex is going to tell you what he did for this guy called Muerto. Keep your eyes open.
So Lou, you explained it, right? So Exclusivo is our excuse to do something crazy every single year and bring something that has never been brought to the tequila industry before.
That's right.
In the modern world. So the first one we did was Vivo, right? So we used Mosto Vivo, didn't let the yeast die. Now, two challenges. One, how do we outdo such a great product?
Let's find out if they did.
We're going to find out. But the next part of that was, how do we do something that is the complete opposite of what Vivo is? The idea was simple, right?
Right? It's never been done before, right?
No, never been done. So what we did is we did Muerto. So Vivo, the yeast is still alive. Muerto, the yeast is dead. I'm talking very dead.
30 days, right?
Yeah. So the Mosto Muerto, we let sit in tanks, and it was a 28-day and 32-day fermentation. So 2 tanks, one with fibers while fermented, the other tank, no fibers while fermented. The tank with fibers was 28-day fermentation. Tank without fibers was a 32-day fermentation. Nobody has ever done that.
Now, 2 batches then. So
Yeah.
you made 2 batches.
2 separate
and
tanks.
blend them together.
That's it.
Put them in that bottle.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So never been done before. What it looks like is like a Caribbean malolactic fermentation.
Okay.
Right? That's sort of the style that what ended up happening.
They used to do that?
Yeah.
They would use it there.
Hey, look, it's the Caribbean. It's beautiful outside. You want to be by the beach. You want to have a couple of beers.
Let us sit there.
Forget about it.
Oh, check on it.
Exactly. We didn't forget it. This is what ended up happening. And that's why you get some really funky runs coming out of the Caribbean.
Yeah. So, Head, you pour this one. So, we got the Vivo on the left.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Muerto on the right.
We're going to check it out. I mean, the procedure's amazing. It's clean. Added a free. Made it Vivanco. Sergio Cruz. He's right here. He's like, we're going to go over 4. What are we going to do? We're going to drive the 4-wheel drive.
Look at the bubbles on that.
Oh, man. We're going to drive 4-wheelers in the agave fields in a little while. So that's pretty cool.
What did we start? Did we start Vivo and then Muerto or Muerto?
Vivo. So what's the difference in ABV now?
So that's 47.5.
Okay.
The Vivo is 47.5. The Muerto is 54.7.
Oh.
54.6 by the time we bottled it, actually. So here's the thing. We just felt that the proof was perfect the way that it was.
That's what it is. You got to get it right.
Yeah.
And Sergio Vivanco was sitting right over here last night. We had a blowout party sitting right here. He was also saying that dead yeast gives off more depth and flavors in a different way.
Right. Because when the yeast is consuming the sugars and turning it into alcohol,
right?
What it's also doing is forming a crust on top of the fermentation tank.
Okay.
Now that crust locks everything in and preserves that alcohol percentage that you want before it goes into the still.
I see.
Right. So when that crust forms and locks it in for 30 days, you're really
it's smothering it. It's who knows what is going on.
So first of all, it takes on a new, like the fermentation has an afterlife.
Okay.
There's a whole new process that happens there, but then also it locks it in and increases all the notes, all the flavors.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
It's the boy, I tell you. You think you know everything or almost everything, and you come back for your 5th visit to this distillery or whatever. talking to Sergio Vivanco and Sergio Cruz, walking around for hours. They're filling in blanks. They're teaching. I mean, we're both learning, right?
All the time.
You never stop learning, you know? All right. So what I noticed right off the bat, we'll go easy with the nose and we'll come up with it. This I can smell a higher ABV myself. And I get a little more mint, it seems like, or anise in the higher proof.
Yeah.
Muerto. You know what is so funny? I still get a little more funk in the Vivo.
Right.
Like funk. You know,
Yeah.
You know, just the way you always think of funk. Like you can get a little of that malolactic almost, but yet it really wasn't produced malolactically, was it?
It was the absolute opposite. But I think what happened with the Vivo was nobody ever knew what the yeast being alive going into the still would taste like.
What was it going to taste like?
Some people say it gave it like a smoky characteristic.
Yeah.
It's the funk.
It's the funk.
Not the funk you don't like, the funk you like.
But it's the funk I like that sometimes you get in malolactic in fermentation when they go long. It almost happened in the distillation, getting that same funk.
Yeah. So it became different. But with the Muerto, you're getting a lot of notes that you'll get from a classic Vivanco fingerprint.
That's exactly. I was just going to say that.
But then it's on steroids.
This to me smells. You're almost more like a tequila, a straight up, well-made, higher proof quality tequila.
Right.
Where this one, you're going, it's a tequila, but there's a little something else going on in here with that funk. And you know, it's going to be hard to convince me, bro, because you know how I'm the Vivo guy. But let's give it a shot. So, what nose do you? If I had to pick one,
I think we start with the Vivo because it's what came first.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I would say you start with the Vivo.
Well, you got some pepper out of this just now.
It evolves. You know.
Sure does. So you're sipping on the Vivo. Right?
Salud.
Salud. So great to see you.
Salud.
First sip, we should let it warm up, but sweetness, anise, some mint, a little bit of like herbal funk, maybe you could call it like a herbal funk, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it like a mezcal, but maybe there's a little pinch of something a little different going on.
I get sort of a mulled tropical fruit a little bit too. It's funny. That's what I get from it sometimes.
No, this is really nice. It's very sweet. Like I say, sweet, funky, high proof, clean. This is why it's me. Like this is what I would drink all the time. It was up to me. All right.
I often say it's like the smokeless mezcal or the tequila that sips like a scotch. If that makes sense.
It does. Wow, the more I smell it, that funk is just coming out and out and out.
Yeah.
So I love that. It's almost like an agave funk. I mean, it's a sweet. It's agave, but it's just something a little different. I really love it. All right, I'm going in. And good luck with this.
World premiere.
You guys better hear about this. It'll be about 150 bottle. It's high proof, clean, amazing, unique, never been done before. Blanco, so that should tell you right there you want to grab a bottle. Tell them how many you're making.
Well, Vivo made 10,000 bottles for the United States. Total production for this one is 4,500 bottles.
That's it. So when it hits, Muerto, you want to jump on it, I would think. But I chatted last night. I know it's going to be good.
Lou's going to tell you whether or not you should buy a bottle.
Oh, I could probably tell you now. It's just the brand, the distillery. You got to buy it. Right off the bat, to me, this is more of a tequila. It's different, but you still know something's different about it than standard tequila.
Yeah.
It's got a little funk, not as much as this, I don't think. It's a different kind, maybe.
So
let's give it another size. First one.
Do you see what I'm saying? How the funk is on the front for the Vivo, and the front is on the back. The funk is on the back for the Muerto.
Actually, I do see that.
I see that. So crazy enough, I don't know if it was a mistake. It was by accident. But the Vivo is alive, and it's in the front. But the Muerto, all that flavor is in the afterlife of the sip.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And I could see that. I could see that correlating with this a little. This is really, really delicious. Yeah. It comes on. it comes on at the end.
Mm-hmm.
More so than this one comes on at the end. You're absolutely right about that. It just, it's a really well-made high-proof Blanco. I don't know what else to say, which is unique, and it is different. You're going to know that right away. It's great. I mean, I'd be running out to buy it. I'm not kidding you. It's me. It's a 90 sitting right here, right now. You know, everybody's getting crazy with the ratings lately. You know, sometimes you taste something again and again. It goes up or it goes down, but this will never be lower than a 90 for me. You know,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. I don't want you to make me make a decision here, but they have a place in my heart for Vivo. There's no doubt about it, you know, for the first one. But this is going to be sitting right next to this guy on my shelf. No doubt about it.
So the question is, Lou, do they live up to each other as a series?
Yeah, they do. They do. You know, it's not a straight up well-made Blanco tequila. There's something different about it, and it's obviously in that yeast. And the way they did it with the dead yeast, it adds something to it. And like he said, it comes on late. I mean, you know, you died and you've been laying in the tank for a while, and now it's taken a while for those flavors to come back out and bite you in the, you know where. I love it. I love them both. You know, what's your opinion? You know,
I believe that it absolutely lives up to the Vivo. Some people have said they like the Muerto more than the Vivo. Other people say they like the Vivo more than the Muerto.
See, going both ways on that, sure.
But I do absolutely think that they're the opposite distillation style, and that you kind of, you know, having both of them side by side.
The nose is totally different.
The nose is different.
Do it again. It's totally they're not even close.
And I think that both of them are extremely drinkable bottles.
Equally great.
And both of them, when we created them, like the Vivo, we sat down, we drank a whole bottle because we couldn't figure out what it tasted like.
I know. It's totally different.
Same thing happens here. We couldn't figure out what we were really tasting. You know, it's unlike a lot of tequilas that I've ever had. Nice and it lives up to those special bottles, those special Blanco batches that you see.
Yeah, nice and sweet. Fruity. Getting a lot of fruit coming out of this guy. They're both amazing. You know, both well over the 90s. I don't remember what I gave that guy, but this is good stuff, guys. You want to run out there, you know, Muerto, check it out in November. Alex LaCroix right here and his wife, they make this brand. It's a great brand at a great distillery. How the heck are you going to go wrong with that? Listen, salute, buddy, and all the best.
Cheers. Cheers.
And then I just hope that there's room in my luggage for these two guys, and we'll catch you guys later.
We're going to make room.